Get out to Ocean Beach. Workers have been trying to free a man who was trapped. Let's send it right over to CBS 8's Chris Groh live at the scene. What's going on, Chris?
And we can actually see the man now being pulled out there on the stretcher. You can see the rescuers there, that gurney now coming up there with one of the fire department, one of the firemen there, one of those first responders here. Again, this has been hours. We're talking about even days, according to the fire department, that man has been stuck there in some sort of cave. Then hours it took them from 3:30, 3:40 yesterday till now here at 11 o'clock. We are now finally watching as this man has been rescued, pulled up from about 10 to 15 feet deep of a hole after slipping there in the bluffs into the rocks. Again, we've been waiting all day here for this moment, and it has finally arrived. We don't know yet the status of this man. At last check, fire department and lifeguard officials told us that he was communicating. They were giving him water as well as electrolytes to keep him going again. But imagine the elements right now. It's cold and it's only 11 o'clock, but been here for 3 days. The rain that we saw, those cold, frigid temperatures, the waves constantly crashing into that area. He was stuck for so long. They tried a number of different methods, from micro explosions to, we heard that didn't even work, to a drill, again, to try to free this man who had slipped into those cracks. Now, this man was first discovered just yesterday by someone who was actually walking near this area. A current Army service member who happened to be back in town from his full service there, was actually walking through this area when he heard those cries for help. And so what he did is what so many of us would probably do, and that's try to find those calls for help. He actually made contact with this man, and thankfully, because of his discovery now, this man being finally rescued by these first responders. But I want to play you a bit of a phone conversation that we had here with that man. We'll get to that in just a little bit, because we want to stay again on this very dramatic moment here unfolding right before our eyes here, wanting to see exactly what is going to happen here with San Diego Fire as this crane that's been parked there for, as of 4 o'clock in the afternoon yesterday, waiting for this person again to finally make their way here up towards ground level here as we come from below those bluffs. So this has been a very slow process. This has been a very long rescue operation. We know San Bernardino crews have been out here, as well as San Diego Fire, San Diego lifeguards, Chula Vista even assisting as well too. We know geologists with the city as well as soil experts have been assisting, and this has been quite a moment here for a lot of the residents here in Ocean Beach. We've gotten quite a crowd that has gathered up to wait for this moment. Again, everybody's saying the same thing. We really hope that he is able to get out, and now we are witnessing this moment again unfold right in front of us on live television as he is finally being brought there via that gurney, via that crane there to those first responders who are hopefully again going to get a quick vital check and then get him to the hospital. Again, this is a moment that so many people were waiting for, including that service member who I told you was here on break, found him. And again, as he is now being taken care of right here by these first responders, I want to play a portion of that phone call that I had with that gentleman who found him.
Like grabbing onto my feet while I was trying to use my nail to dig out the dirt and debris that's in front of him and try to grab him with my belt. And we managed to move him a little bit, but not that much.
That's Justin Florentino Pacheco, again, as you heard him there saying they were trying to help rescue him, to unlodge him from the grips of whatever it was there down 10 to 15 feet, he told us. At one point, again, he says that he was being held by his friends by his feet. As you saw in there, his picture completely covered in dirt and soot because he was trying his best to get that man. He actually was again, really worried. Today, he told me he had never experienced anything like this, and constantly asking again, how is that man doing? Have they gotten him out yet? And thankfully able to text him, and hopefully he's watching now and seeing that, again, that man has been taken out and finally rescued. And hopefully, again, we can get a quick update here on his status. I got to imagine he's going to need a lot of medical attention. Again, upwards of 3 days there and several hours stuck in that hole with all of the elements that were here. Again, the circumstances surrounding how it is that he got down there, again, very unclear. They're going off of what he told first responders. rescuers up there for 3 days slipped. So again, we wait to get some new information again, but the most important thing now is that that person's out of there and that they're going to get that medical attention they need.
Absolutely.
We saw that unfold live on TV here, the rescue, a very delicate operation, a very delicate rescue operation, and he was on that gurney there, that stretcher. They were very careful with him as they were getting back to land there. Do we know anything about injuries? They were really trying to keep that flat, we noticed there.
Yeah, we really don't know. You got to imagine, again, they did mention at one point that because of just how confined that space was, it is very likely that he's going to need some type of surgery. That's why they weren't giving him food, though, as you might imagine, going 3+ days there without food. The most important thing that they wanted to give him was water and electrolytes so that they could lower the amount of lactic acid that likely had been building up, not just because of the temperature and standing still, but also because, again, likely being just kind of crushed there by that environment, by that hole. And so, yeah, likely going to need a lot of medical attention. We of course, this just happening here live, right? We got to wait to see what kind of an update we'll get there from the first responders to see what type of injuries he may have sustained once they do their own evaluation. But again, likely we're going to be seeing that ambulance leaving here pretty shortly.
Incredible work by them considering the storm that came through overnight to see him on that gurney and brought to land. Chris Grow, thank you so much for that live report.